Right before the show, you know who dropped his $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS for leaking his tax returns. There have been reports he would drop the suit if he could establish a nearly $1.8 billion fund to compensate allies who feel they were targeted by the previous Justice Departments. The top Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee, Jamie Raskin, sounded off on the proposal yesterday. Take a look.
Only Congress has the power to appropriate money, and Congress never voted on creating this $1.7 billion political slush fund at the Department of Justice, and Congress would never pass that. No money can be spent by the federal government for the purposes of paying for insurrection or rebellion. So to the extent that he wants to give $1 million to each of 1,600 pardoned rioters and insurrectionists, we think that that's an unconstitutional use of money.
Yeah, well, I think it's interesting because I want to note that a commission overseeing the compensation fund would have total authority to settle claims which could be brought by the, as he said, nearly 1,600 individuals charged in connection to January 6th and entities associated with Trump. So my question is this: does this mean that Hunter Biden deserves reparations too, because he was investigated under the Biden administration before his pardon?
I kind of thought about the same thing. If we're going to talk about people who the government's been weaponized against them, what about the fact that they pardoned violent criminals who attacked cops and scaled the Capitol walls? All the victims of January 6th probably feel a little bit like this was weaponized. 71% of immigrants detained by ICE with no criminal conviction, they probably feel like it. The federal government employees who did not get paid during 2 historical shutdowns, they probably feel like it was weaponized a bit. The federal employees who were fired under DOJ, the Epstein survivors, and last, but certainly not least, Black Americans who talk about reparations.
I would like some reparations, yeah.
We're going to do reparations for January 6th?
Yeah.
Like, that just doesn't feel like...
It feels so wrong, and it's just disgusting, and it's unconstitutional. Section 4 of the 14th Amendment specifically provides that the government cannot provide compensation to insurrectionists. So that's a non-starter. But what is interesting that hasn't been reported very much is that ABC reported that another potential settlement option, and we haven't seen the settlement agreement yet, is that the Justice Department for the IRS would agree to drop any audits of Trump, his family, and his businesses in exchange for dropping the lawsuit. So that means that any money that he owes the IRS, and we know he owes money because when his taxes were released and leaked, he only paid $750 in taxes. The average teacher and nurse pays about $5,000 on a $50,000 salary. So we know he owes money, and part of this settlement could be that his family and Trump will never pay their fair share.
What really bothers me, though, in addition to all of this, is that this is coming on top of the $30+ billion that he's spending on the Iran war.
Yes.
The $1.5 billion that's now being requested to build his ballroom. The millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars for his Trump arch. The $500 million to retrofit the jet from Qatar. The $15 million to paint the reflecting pool, Mar-a-Lago pool.
Yeah.
While Americans can't afford gas, health care, food,
beef,
groceries, and this, and now we're going to put... Enough, man. Enough with the grift and the corruption.
It also just feels like another day where the haves and the have-nots get very different outcomes. So Trump is mad that his tax returns were leaked. That's why this whole lawsuit came about in this massive settlement. What about the woman who we highlighted on Friday's show who had her name appear 500 times unredacted, a survivor of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse? Does she get some kind of compensation?
Add her
Does
to
she
my
get
list,
to sue
Alyssa.
the Department of Justice?
Add her.
No, exactly, because there's just, this is so extraordinary that he ran on draining the swamp, and this is the swampiest thing I could possibly imagine, is a slush fund for your allies.
Well, it's just, you know, listen.
It's extortion.
It is so many things. It is against so many things. And of course he has to, because I don't think he believes as much as other people do that he is going to be here for life. I think he's making ways to get out from underneath what's going to happen when he's not president
Right,
anymore.
which is why he wants
Which
no
is why
audits.
he wants no audits.
Correct.
And you know what? I'm sorry, I'm not really interested in the ballroom, unless, of course, you leave. That's the thing.
Yeah,
If you go, we'll build you a ballroom.
yeah.